Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to a new plugin showcase. We're going to be showcasing DeluxeCombat. This is a premium combat system that you guys can go buy on Spigot. It works on versions 1.8.3 all the way to 1.15, and DeluxeCombat is pretty much your all-inclusive PvP and combat system in Minecraft. Such a fantastic plugin. There's so many features within this, and we're going to sort of dwell and highlight a few of them. Not going to showcase pretty much everything because that is a lot, but we're going ahead and demonstrate it right now. So let me go ahead and showcase. So if we go ahead and hit him, as you see, that was pretty much a one hit kill. But if you look at, we have this dead corpse and it says ISO Reaper took the L. That's right, he did. And so it has the armor, and we can even right click the body to see the items that he had, but he doesn't have any in right now. But as you see, it has his head right here and the little armor stand. It's so cool. I really like that. That's a very cool feature. So if we go ahead and start punching him again, let's go ahead and start punching him. We have the health up top, so if I go ahead and take some health, as you see, the boss bar is changing as well, which is really cool. Then we also have a combat tag system down here. This even includes PvP stats as well. So as you see, we got 1+1 kill, and then we also have points, and then we also have the message saying that we stabbed him, and it even shows the hearts, and then it shows the item as well. We have this really cool recap feature, so if we go ahead and click it, it brings up this nice GUI. It tells the two players that were in the fight. So here's the killer, and then here is the victim, and then the weapon that was used to kill the victim. And then we also have the damage dealt, damage taken, and sort of assists as well. And all this is super cool, so you can go ahead and recap that. And then here's other recaps. So if we go ahead and see, so Kendricks killed me, and then as you see, here's the damage dealt, damage taken, and then he was pretty much the pretty much 81% versus 27. So very cool features that you can recap. So that is just some of the features right here. So let me go ahead and show you some other ones. So as you see, I am in combat, and then over here we have a no PvP flag with World Guard. So if I go ahead and try to come back into the World Guard, as you see, we have this barrier block right here, and we can't go into the no PvP zone until our timer is done, and then we can go ahead and walk in right here. So super cool features. It's integrated with a lot of plugins such as World Guard, Vault, Essentials, a whole bunch more as well. So if we go ahead and kill him one more time, this even includes a respawn feature. As you see, he is respawning over there as well, because that is what we set it up to. And then there's a new messages here, which is pretty awesome. So
be sure to check out this video's sponsor, Songoda. Songoda is a new and unique marketplace where you can find free or paid custom plugins. With the help of continuous user and developer feedback, Songoda is continuously working towards making those ideas a reality. Visit the Songoda Marketplace and Discord with the links below.
Let's go ahead and get started with the main command, which is /dc menu, and that will bring up your menu GUI. So in here you have all the settings that you can change, and you also change your languages here as well. So in our settings, we have a whole bunch of things that you can configure. So in here, you general settings, you pretty much change all of this stuff right here, right at your fingertips. You can also change the prefixes, and you also can enable and change rewards. You have to change the rewards in the config, but in here you can enable it and disable it. So in here we also have supported plugins, and so for example, if we go and check World Guard, so as you see, we have World Guard region borders, and so this is currently activated, and that is what I was just showing you with trying to go into the region border. So if we go ahead and disable it, and then if we try to start PvPing, as you see, I can just walk into this region right here. So if we go back into the menu and we go to our plugins, World Guard, and then we go ahead and enable this, as you see, we do have the region border. So this is physical, and you also have invisible, and then here is where you can set the material, which is red stained glass. So that is what it was set to, and then you also have sub IDs. This is only for 1.12 and lower, and then you also have whitelist and blacklist regions that you can do as well, which is pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and go back, and let's go ahead and PvP, get some combat tag, and then if we try to walk back over here, as you see, we have our region border enabled. One thing I do want to mention is that there is additional add-ons to get some of these features feature is working. So for example, this says requires the World Guard add-on. This is a free add-on that you can download. So I will leave those links down in the description as well. So there's a whole bunch of other ones. So we have lands, VanishNode Packet, Lip Disguises, Essentials, Townie, Factions, Vault, and Ultimate Claims. And so for example, with Vault, you can go ahead and actually get money from victims. So you can sort of transfer money from the victim to the killer, which is really cool. And then you can also remove a percent of the money on death. So I really like the percentage value as well, so you can do that all in here. And then you also have the ability to sell the head, so the heads will drop at a certain percentage as well, which is really cool. And then you can also have money loss if you lose the head, and so really cool features all included. So make sure you check out those additional plugins as well. Moving on, we have the PvP, so you can have the old PvP mechanics. So we have the no weapon cooldown, which is enabled, which is great. But if you still want to have the cooldown except not during combat, you can enable that. And then you also have attack speeds where you can change. So if you want to change the attack speed higher or lower, depending on whatever you want to do. And you also have disabled world. You also have item usage. So if you want to disable interpros in combat or in general, like in your entire server. So there's a whole bunch of different things. This includes totem undying, gold apples. You also have chorus fruit, god apples, and so there's also a cooldown in the action bar as well. So let's actually go ahead and try that out. So if we start PvP and we try to use the Impros, as you see, it does not work because that is we are in combat. So that is working properly. So that's with your items. Then we also have PvP extras. So if you want modified knockback, so you can actually do that. So let's go ahead and change this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and actually change this value. So DC set value, and then we can go ahead and do like 7. So this will modify the combat. So let's go ahead and actually punch him and see how far he goes. So if we go ahead and punch him, oh man, look at that, he's flying back there. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and kill him. Oh, and we just killed him. Look at that. So there we go. We gained at $25, and he basically hit the ground too hard. And then we can see the recap. Pretty much did 26, and the rest was full damage. So next we have some combat. So you can have combat log punishments, and you can see all the different punishments right here. I'm not gonna go over every single thing. Just sort of briefly go over some of the different features. So you also have a logger. You can have a combat time, and then the timer mode. And so there's a lot of other features in here as well. One of the things I want to showcase is this ranking system. A very cool system that is set up. So we have the ranking system. You also have the points. You also have points per kill. So if you want to increase that by your point system, you can totally do that. So if I do /PvP stats, I can see my kills, deaths, my kill death ratio, which is 2.0, and then my combat logs if I had logged out during combat, and then here's my points, the highest streak that I have and the current one that you're on. And you also enable it and just put it in display name, so we can go ahead and actually change that. So if we go ahead and enable that, so if you look in tab, don't mind the ping, but we're looking at the ranking system that you have is I'm number 1 for the kills, and then he is number 3. So that is the ranking system. So for example, I'm using name tag edit for my tab plugin, so we can actually go ahead and set a prefix so you will have the ranking in the tab group as well. So to do that, I'm going to do int e and then my group name, which is tester, which is the default. I'm going to actually be adding a suffix. And then the placeholder is just going to be this DeluxeCombat _ ranking _ rank surrounded in %. So that is your placeholder that you can actually use in like scoreboards or in your tab as well. And so I'm just going to head and add that to the tester. So there we go. I just head and spaced it out real quick. But there is your ranking that if you want to use it in your tab plugin. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. If you guys are using a tab plugin like I am, that you can still use the ranking system with that as well. Moving on, we have the death, and this is where it respawn. This is probably one of my most favorite, and so I love the instant respawns with this plugin. It's super helpful. Really like that feature. And you also have respawns at nearest point. So that is what I have set up over here. So this is the spawn point right here, so we can go actually remove it. Say I want to put the spawn point in the no PvP zone. So if we go ahead and break this, put obsidian underneath, put gold block up top, and then you also edit the spawn point. So we can do DC edit and then SP and then spawn point -0, and we'll set the name to respawn. You also have permissions. You also can teleport, and you also can delete it, or you can just click delete. So if I go ahead and kill him, and he should teleport to the new spawn point. So there we go, he just instant respawned to the new spawn point. So that is how you set up various spawn points. And then you also have some other respawn protections in here as well, and a few other teleport to the death location settings. And so you also have item drops, so if you have the corpses, drop the player head, so let's go ahead and enable that. And then here's a percentage that you can do if you want commands to be enabled, or if you want to transfer the item immediately. And here you also have the kill recaps, and then if you only wanted to send to the victim, then you can go ahead and do that, so that will send it to the victim only and not everyone on the server. You also have some other death various things, so here's a custom death message if you want to have it to prefix, and you also have it to send it to the victim as well. So it just kind of all depends on what you want to do. You also have the health bar, and so if you want to activate it or deactivate it, I really like that feature. And it also has the boss bar, also change the color, as well as the keep time up on the top. So that is sort of all the different features within this plugin. So that sort of wraps up this plugin showcase. There's a ton more features that I didn't get into that you guys can customize for your server, but very cool plugin, very highly recommended this one. A lot of customization that you can do with it. But I hope you guys did enjoy. I will see you guys in the next video showcase. Have a good one. Peace out.